Good evening. Welcome to the Iron Line Vault comic book live sale. My name is Lance. I'm going to be your host for the evening, and we're going to be sharing some outstanding cool comics here by way of we have our two Facebook feeds, and we also are streaming on YouTube now too. So maybe just get some more eyes in here, and maybe get some new faces to join us. That'd be a lot of fun. It's the community. The community makes this live sale that much more fun. We'll be utilizing the chat through our evening here. Great. It looks like everything's lining up fine. Awesome. And that chat is also going to be very useful in that. As we show a book, something like this Doctor Strange book here. If it's something you'd like to add to your collection, you're going to type claim and then something related to that book. So claim Doctor Strange, claim DS, claim Doc. It all works. Whatever whatever kind of gives us a quick telltale as to which book it is you're looking to claim. And we want to try and make it fair to everyone. And with that in mind, too, one of the nice things is even if you see someone maybe might have claimed it ahead of you, don't distress, because there are oftentimes when we have more than one book. I have multiples of a lot of these books, not all of them, but I mean, you'll understand why I'm some. But we want you to be able to want to make that as fair as we can for everybody. So, let's see. So as those books come up, next there will be a post-it with a price. So they'll as we talk about it, you'll be able to see what that price is. Next week we have got. Next week we are going. The Iron Line is going to be at Colorado Springs Comic Con. That is to say that. I won't be live next week because, well, if you want to be very live, you can come see me at Comic-Con. It's running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the World Arena down near the Broadmoor. The Iron Line has, if you've joined us in years past, I think we're going to be in that same booth. It's a really good spot. It's a great locale, easy to spot once you're coming in the door. And Mr. Kevin Wheeler, what up? And Jeremy Parker Ryan, howdy. Welcome, gentlemen. Let's see. So next week we got a week off. Well, there'll be a week off from the live sale because I'll be at Colorado Springs Comic Con, but we'll be back the week following. There you go. Can't wait for the con. Have a Smallville Funko and Blu-ray set to get signed by Tom Welling. They've got some amazing guests, and Tom Welling, I feel like, is kind of buried on the list there. That's a pretty big deal, but he's behind William Shatner, Bruce Campbell, and Cassandra Peterson, a.k.a. Elvira. That's okay. In the hierarchy of sci-fi fandom, Tom needs to take he's not second tier by any means. He was a lead on Smallville for years, but I digress. As we go through, let's see, when everything's been wrapped up in the evening here, we're going to be starting in just a minute here, and we'll wrap up. We'll do a recap at the end, maybe the last 10 minutes or so will be things that somehow are unclaimed up to that spot. We'll try and finish right around 7 o'clock. I'll be invoicing these on Monday. If you're not local to Colorado, that's okay. You'll get an invoice by way of email. You can settle that up, and I'll send them out to you. And if you are local or near Colorado Springs, you can come by the shop. I'll have them transferred over to the shop, so that they should be there on Tuesday. Again, to those non-locals, I know a lot of folks already piping in who are not local, which is totally fine, because they can tell you too, if collectively you spend more than $75, Iron Line covers the shipping of those books to you, there are some very large packages of comics that we've been shipping out, and a couple even sent me like a unboxing video of them getting to check out these books in person, because just stunned by it, all the awesomeness coming their way. Eric is asking, do you have any good 90s Superman books? May try to get Dean Cain for an autograph. 90s Superman, that's a good, I'll keep that in mind, Eric. Good thought. Like a Death of Superman, that might be one that you might be looking for. We can maybe take a look at that. I'm make a little note here. And Buckwild is in the house, making his presence known with the Buckwheezy and the Heezy. Sup, yeah, everyone. That's how you start out your demo album there.
That's, I'm sure he has a doctorate.
In English. All right, and then let's see, in our next comic trade night will be on, here in Colorado Springs, here will be on Labor Day. So if you usually working on those Monday evenings, and maybe have Labor Day off. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there. Mr. Rob, good evening to you too. All right, let's. I'm sure there's something I missed, but I'll hit it soon. Claim Strange. First, I see with the Claim Strange is get that Doctor Strange number 3 with the Alex Ross cover, plus a story featuring Sister Grimm. It's a 60th anniversary of Doctor Strange. I like that Marvel's been utilizing these little icons with those anniversaries in there. That's just cool. That's just cool. And showing us how it's done with the quick draw action came down to not even a second difference. Oof, boy, that was very close. But Mr. Jeremy Parker Ryan is the first Strange claim.
I had money on him.
Padres up. Padre wagers. He has side bets. All right, let's look at some cool books here. I want to show we got a lot of great things to show tonight. Let's start us off with. All right, just at $4. We got us kicking off with the Saturday Morning Adventures of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1. Here's what's kind of cool about this from IDW. They are doing a new ongoing series featuring the Ninja Turtles by way of the Saturday Morning Adventure. So it's like the animated style of our characters there with all your faves, and even in that reflection there, Shredder. Spoiler alert, he appears. I like that we have not just like we'll say kind of long-running mature Ninja Turtles, but this nice gateway for particularly kids. So if there's a kid out that you think might like Ninja Turtles, this is the book to come up with. $4 for Saturday Morning Adventures, TMNT number 1. Yeah, get a ratio variant in there real early. Recent one here, Void Rivals, number 2 for $6. This Void Rivals book is a 1 in 10 ratio variant. $6 for 1 in 10. That's awesome. Void Rivals is making some waves. It's an image book, and it's under Robert Kirkman's Skybound, his imprint. So Robert Kirkman is the writer on this, and Void Rivals, number 1, surprised many when on the last page was Transformers. It was not completely solicited that way, that this is going to be the new Transformers book, and Void Rivals is going to already links to that Transformers universe, and Kirkman is teasing that it will also link to the G.I. Joe universe, two intellectual properties that he's recently acquired the rights to, so he's going to have a field day with them. A 1 in 10 of issue 2, I think a book that was probably under-ordered, $6. And hey, Mr. Michael Thomas, thanks for joining us, Michael. Hope you're having a nice evening. I know some of our gang here, they end up working late, and that's okay. I know, Michael, you have a schedule that sometimes doesn't accommodate joining us, but thank you for making time. Gargoyles, number 5 for $4. This is the variant cover done by Lucille Perillo, who is also responsible for some great Vampirella covers, and but art is art. So he can also work on Disney's Gargoyles and slay it this way too. Those creatures look so good. Written by Greg Weisman, who is also responsible for, he's one of the creators and writers of the original Gargoyles, the not Saturday, but it was like a daily Disney afternoon series of Gargoyles. $4 for that revisiting of Disney's Gargoyles, number 5. Spider-Man number 14 for $10. This is a kind of noted key issue, mostly because of the cover. It's here we have our Miles and Gwen from Universes, I suppose. $10 for this book, and that the cover's done by Sarah Pacelli, but it is and as you can see here, it also says After Romita. Yeah, it'll catch that eventually here, but that is it's an homage cover to the John Romita cover that he did for the Amazing Spider-Man wedding trade paperback, with, we'll say that, the heart there and our web slinger swinging like that. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer, and Sarah Pacelli not only does the cover, but also the interior work here on this run of Spider-Man from 2017. $10 for Spidey. Eric was reminding me of something. I've read some of that too, Eric. Eric was saying that we have a live-action Gargoyles coming. And the name I'd heard associated to that was directed by Kenneth Branagh, who he's did, like Murder on the Orient Express, which is cool, but also responsible for Thor. So I don't know. I'm excited for that. I think he has a good. He has a. That's the right sensibility for a live-action Gargoyles, in my opinion. Earth X #0. I have just $3 on this. This is a cool intro book. It's a cover done by Alex Ross, and Alex Ross was one of the two. There were kind of three creators and people who worked on Earth X. This issue 0 kind of sets it up. It's a 52-page oversized intro into what's going on. In that we have X-51, Machine Man. Am I right with that? I'm pretty sure I'm right with that. That he is on the moon along with the Watcher, observing Earth and recording what's going on as there's various mutations on Earth, and everyone we'll say like all humans are endowed with some sort of superpower. Very, a very kind of Marvel what if scenario. But and the Alex Ross covers for it are striking and cool. Valentine with Claim Earth X. Congratulations, Valentine, on that book. I remember when that was coming out. That was on my pull list back in the day, and boy, I enjoyed reading that month to month. It was a blast. And to see, like, at the time, reimaginings of some of these characters was not as, I don't want to say common, but it was a unique take at the time. Women of Marvel #1 for $6. It's a one-shot from 2021, a couple years back now. And you've heard me mention his name already once, so I thought I'd bring her up again. Sarah Pichelli does our cover here, and this one-shot is celebrating some of the female characters and female creators within the Marvel Universe. We have Louise Simonson is one of the individuals writing this. She-Hulk appears in it, as a number of as do the characters on the front here, along with like Captain Carter. $6 for that Women of Marvel #1 one-shot. All right, another female-led book and character here, this is a cool key book. $10 here on Showcase Presents #97. It's from 1978. One of the reasons this is substantial and important is that this is the first appearance of Power Girl in a solo series. In fact, you can even see her punching through and punching out of the All-Star Comics. That's where she debuted. And DC just kind of, we'll say, testing the waters as for the interest in Power Girl, who appeared in that All-Star Comics. So a couple weeks back, we had a graded copy of that we had shown. Power Girl's still going strong, and a character I like that she's not derivative of other characters. I applaud any particular like female characters who aren't. It's not begrudging Supergirl or She-Hulk, but Power Girl is her own thing. I like that. $10 for Showcase Presents #97. Batman Adventures Holiday Special #1 is a $25 book, and this is an awesome, unique book for a number of reasons. It's from 1995. It's written by Paul Dini, because it's a Batman Adventures book, and Bruce Timm. He's also one of the contributors to our book here. It is this. If you're not familiar with the Eisner Awards, that's like the Oscars or the Academy Awards of comics. This is an award-winning book with that in mind. It has Harley and the Ivy and White Christmas, which has been voted on by fans as possibly the best Mr. Freeze story that's in print, which is cool. Because Paul Dini is one of the writers of this, and that Harley and the Ivy story within it, it actually is noted as the 4th appearance of Harley Quinn, because she was in the animated series, and this being kind of extension of the animated series, and then she was in Batman Adventures, 3 issues of that here and there, and then here the Holiday Special #1 from '95. Again, one of those that's kind of a harder one to come by. just because of it was probably under-ordered. It's a unique one. Michael saying he's looking for Preacher #2. I'll have to keep an eye out. I don't know that we have a whole lot of Preacher at the moment, but I'll make a note of that for there, Michael. Yeah, I remember when Preacher was coming out, and yeah, some of those low issues or those first issues. Again, speaking of under-ordered books, that's what really made those peak, especially when they were coming out. It caught people off guard how awesome it was, and still is. Young Justice #1 for $6 is from 2019. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer. Patrick Gleason does the cover and the interior work. Gleason is responsible for a lot of great, like Amazing Spider-Man stuff. You can kind of tell from the style you see here that connects to Spidey very, very easily. This is the first team appearance of this new Young Justice, and the first appearance of Team Lantern as well. First appearances, first team appearance, and great creators. $6 for that Young Justice #1. The second time Brian Michael Bendis has already come up, and probably not the last. All right, let's go to okay, I like this. Red Sonja #1. This is for $10 here. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive cover. It's limited to 2,000 copies. This is one of just that 2,000. Joseph Michael Lisner, or Leisner possibly. He does our variant cover of Red Sonja #1. This has been a very popular series for Dynamite. It sounds like between Red Sonja and Conan, Dynamite has really hit their stride with those two characters. Not to mention how successful they've been with a lot of the other like Disney franchises as well. So Dynamite's doing some pretty cool stuff. I'm happy to see where they're going. And like I said, a limited book like that with Claim Red from Buck Wild. Congratulations on the Red Sonja San Diego Comic-Con exclusive cover. It's so super cool. Congrats. Night Terrors #3 for $6. This is the neon ink variant. I really like what they're doing with this. I would like to see more neon ink variants. There could just about be a whole book that just leans right into that with some, like in a death metal kind of way. Like start with the enhancement and then work your way backwards. Give me a neon character that justifies this every month. That'd be awesome. Our Night Terrors is a mini series that DC is doing, impacting most of the DC universe. We're going to have a lot of Dawn of DC come out of it, like Flash and Wonder Woman, things like that. In here we've got Dead Man versus Damian, the Damian Batman's son. $6 for that Blacklight special. Yeah, if you own a Blacklight, you need that book because, and I do own a Blacklight. No judgment. I'm not even labeling anything.
It was a wedding present.
Sure it was. Vampirella Dracula Rage #1 for $4. Again, from our friends at Dynamite Entertainment. One of the real striking things here is this takes place after the Vampirella Dracula Unholy, the wedding of the two, and Lucio Perillo, who did our Gargoyles cover just that you'd seen a moment ago, gives us our Vampirella here too. Rage in the cage right there. That's awesome. $4 for Vampirella Rage. And with Claim Rage to Buck Wild, Justin Buck Wild Robinson. Congrats on. It's a great cover. That's a cool book. Vampirella books are cool. There's $5 here on Spider-Man Annual #1. I'll explain. This is from the newest Spider-Man series that Dan Slott has been putting together. So this registers as their first annual book, the book from 2023, the annual 2023. It delivers on what you get on the cover here too, which is cool. R.B. Silva does a cover, but it's Spidey versus Wolverine here in the Spider-Man Annual. The other kind of cool thing that's kicking off too is this Contest of Chaos. I was going to say Contest of Champions. Contest of Chaos is the thread that they have, which I dig. I think it's a good idea. Agatha Harkness is building a new Darkhold, and in doing so, she's pitting other heroes against each other. So this is the first chapter of that with our Wolverine and Spider-Man And the next chapter is on the shelf this past week. It's Iron Man versus Storm, which it's a very kind of Secret Wars kind of setup of how can we reasonably put these characters against each other. I'm for it. That sounds awesome. Let's see. We go from Spidey versus Wolverine to they're really just opening the doors for some of these crossovers too, which I dig. Ghost Rider Wolverine for $5. This is Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance. This is chapter 1. Chapter 1 of 4. The 4 chapters. So it's Ghost Rider Wolverine Alpha number 1. So as the numbering will go, it'll be Ghost Rider Wolverine, and then it'll be in the Ghost Rider book, then in the Wolverine book, and then Ghost Rider Wolverine Omega. A 4-part series because these 2 characters deserve all the chapters we can get. Logan and Blaze with Ryan Stegman doing the cover. This is kind of we'll say kind of a prequel. It is before some of their first meetups, and that's okay. That's fine. So chronologically, if you were like putting them in a reading order, this would go before the kind of a lot of the other crossovers that they've done since. Let's look at. Yeah, here's something clanking here. Rightfully so. All right. We have just $50 here on Something is Killing the Children, number 11, graded at 9.6. If you don't recognize this cover, and you're a Something is Killing the Children fan, that makes complete sense. This is the 1 per store edition. It's also called the unlockable variant. So each store had an opportunity to order 1 of these if they ordered other copies of Something is Killing the Children. And here we have one graded at 9.6. The cover done by Werther Dell'Edera, who also does the interior work for SICT, S-I-K-T-C. Written by James Tynion IV. There we go. There's where you fill in some of the other information. And they're also kind of smart in that they do tell you down here in the descriptor 1 per store, with that in mind too. Of that number 11. Lucky 11, I'll say that's my lucky number. $50 for a 1 per store, graded at 9.6. I love that I get to share these cool things with you guys. And Mr. Dave Sturgis. Dave, with the claim of Something is Killing the Children. Congratulations, Dave. That is a very cool addition to any collection of that series. You'll enjoy it. That's awesome. Marvel Tales number 238 for $40, graded at 9.0, and there's a newsstand edition. One of the real prime things about this and what makes it super cool is that Todd McFarlane cover. So when they were publishing the Marvel Tales, McFarlane was working on Amazing Spider-Man, and I mean, people knew he was gold already. So when they were doing some of these reprints by way of Marvel Tales, McFarlane was doing the covers, not a variant cover, but just the primary cover for those Marvel Tales. It's from 1990 with Spidey versus Juggernaut, and I like that they both also kind of talking with registered trademarks in there. So, where are the X-Men? Where are the X-Men when I need them? To which Juggernaut says, "How dare you drop a building on the Juggernaut? I really hate that." $40 for that cool Marvel Tales Todd McFarlane covered book. Super cool.
Oh, yeah.
1990.
90, wow.
Mm-hmm. What If, number 49. There are some interesting and real key books here within the What If series. This is one of them. What If, number 49 from 93, poses that question of what if the Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlet? And here we have kind of that send-up or inspired by Infinity Gauntlet number 1, the George Perez cover with the stones, the gems, all radiating and we'll say sectioning it off into cool artwork like that. It's a great one here. Ron Mars is the writer, and it's a newsstand edition at that too. I'd seen 2 quick claims in there, but first one there was to Cecil Perry. I know there's a little bit of a typo in there, but I understand. The claim WG G-H-A-T. G is very close to H on the keyboard. Claim What If. Got you on there. I'd mentioned her a moment ago. Coming to Colorado Springs Comic Con, Elvira in Monsterland, number 3 for $4. This is the, as you can see, the photo variant with Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira, there on the cover from Dynamite Entertainment. Boy, I've shown a lot of Dynamite books, but I've just been excited about them. I think they've got some cool things coming. $4 for that Elvira Monsterland book. Each of the Elvira books is very, I mean, true to kind of what she's about. Very tongue in cheek. That it's first one was her versus all the Draculas of pop culture and media, and the second one were Wolfmans. Yep. And third, I believe here is mummies. So mummy from various, like, if you can name a mummy movie or from anywhere else, it's she faces off, we'll say, against it there. Yeah. Oh, that's all right, Michael. That's all right. I appreciate the clarification. We're good. Spawn number 344, just $3. This is J.H. Williams does our cover. This is a variant of the main cover in that we have the Virgin edition of Spawn 344. These Virgin covers that Spawn and McFarlane have been putting out there are really cool because this is one of the connecting covers. When you get all four, it makes a gigantic, what's that kind of, skull face. Yeah, I guess I'll put it that way. A giant face when all four are connected from Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, King Spawn, and Scorched. With that $3 Spawn book to Mr. Michael Thomas. Michael, congrats on that Spawn book. I think it just looks cool. It's a very, very cool book. I've always appreciated that McFarlane keeps that price point at a good spot like that. $6 here on Star Wars Droids number 1. It's an action figure variant, as you can see, done by John Tyler Christopher, a name synonymous with the action figure variants. And so convincing are they that yes, it is flat. It has all the sheen and distressing and rounded corners that the packages would otherwise have. And so the other kind of fun thing is that it's very inspired by the animated Droid series, because it had those action figures that came out with that too, and it will come with a collectible coin too. So they even went to that effort of creating the faux Dark Droids coin for C-3PO. And I guess before you'd even seen the movie, it gives you a pronunciation key there. It is pronounced C-3PO. I mean, it's true. You could butcher that, I suppose. Cecil Perry with the Claim Droids. Congratulations, Cecil. Those action figure variants are cool, and I like that. That's what they've done with a nice bridge to the classic Droids animated series there. X-Men number 113 from 1978 for $25. Chris Claremont is a writer. John Byrne, our cover artist and interior artist. This is the X-Men dealing with fallout from Asteroid M. I think last week I think we'd had the first appearance or first mention of Asteroid M in a book. $25 for that book from '78. It looks great. And Cecil adding to his X-Men collection there. Congratulations, Cecil, on that beautiful X-Men book. Great pickup.
That's in great shape.
It is, right?
Yeah. Looks about a year old.
It does. $10 here on the foil variant, the foil edition of the Incredible Hulk 181 facsimile edition. The facsimile edition, I define it almost every time I can because it is reprinted down to the ads. So the back ad is asking, there's all the ads within there too, just a fun way to experience it. Among the few things they do, there's a barcode on the back and the actual price point, and they took the maybe 25-cent cover off of that. So just kind of help shops out a little bit. So with Claim of Hulk is to Mr. Michael Thomas. Michael, that is a beautiful book. I think you'll love that. Good pickup. There's a book that, again, you guys get first opportunity at some of these, and I'm surprised. The journey that takes them to the Iron Lion is fascinating, I'm sure. Department of Truth, number 9 for 70. It's rated at 9.8, and as you can see, he's got that gold banner along the top there. That's to say this is the signed and sketched by Martin Simmons. Martin Simmons is the artist of Department of Truth, the interior artist, and then that's where you get, that's his autograph on there. Very graphical and, we'll say, appropriate for Department of Truth. This is also the Brewer variant cover. This cover was exclusive to Scott's Collectibles and Tiny Onion. Let's see, yes, it helps me out with some of that. All that redacted information on there, on the back there. There's that Scott's Collectibles and Tiny Onion exclusive variant. The store exclusive of Department of Truth number 9, graded at 9.8 for 70. It's signed. It's early in that Department of Truth series era too. James Tinian IV, who we'd seen on Something Has Killed the Children just a moment ago. $70 for that graded book. Cecil's throwing down the gauntlet with our Hulk 181 with as the second appearance of Wolverine. I know. It comes up every time. Pretty much every time that Hulk 181, 182, or any of those come up. All right. This is a visual trivia question for you guys. You don't need to type claim, just give me the name. I'm not looking for Falcon. I'll just put that out there quick. So this is the book Captain America and the Falcon. Who is this? Not Falcon, but who's on his shoulder? We'll say it's so if in this iteration Falcon is sidekick to Captain America, and Falcon has a sidekick of his own in a way too, which they do allude to. I like that even though it's not portrayed by a bird, it is portrayed as like a drone. I think it's a drone that flies around that he utilizes, and they give it the same name, which I dig. And Kevin Wheeler is not he is a Captain America fan, so I didn't even know that. With Red Wing. Correct. Red Wing is on the shoulder here of Falcon. And Buckwild, you're mighty close behind him there too, but you're going to get that. Captain America and the Falcon, number 1, written by Christopher Priest, illustrated by Bart Sears, who does the cover there too. Congratulations, Mr. Kevin Wheeler. Okay, now I know the origin of this book because we sent it in to be graded, and it came back very nice. I love this. Secret Wars number 1 for $75, graded at 9.4. That blue labeled, written by Jim Shooter with cover and interior artwork by Mike Zeck. We've been able to share some cool Secret Wars books of recent here, and this is now a cover that's like been parodied and homage to any number of times. When I was talking about the Contest of Chaos, and that was that kind of pairing up heroes against heroes, or villains against villains, and all just putting them all in that arena. This set the stage for that.
Did you say the year?
I did not. It's from 1984. Our Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 1. That's the full title. What it do, Mr. Henry? Henry, welcome. Thanks for joining us here. Rated at 9.4. I love that. Kevin calling himself out that if he didn't know Red Wing, he would be a poser.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. I mean, just because you're a Captain America fan doesn't mean you know all about Falcon too. It's okay.
Every cover.
Multiversity, Harley screws up the DCU, number 6 for 6. This is the last issue in that Multiversity miniseries. Well, that's a mouthful. Gilliam March does our variant cover here. What I like about our Harley presenting here is that because she's been going through and we'll say messing with, screwing up, it's in the title. She's been screwing up various heroes' origins and such. And as she's been traveling through different eras, here on the cover here, like I said, by Gila March, she's going through that kind of old, almost national logo of DC, and then we have our 70s, 80s DC, or kind of like a 90s DC logo, up to that peeling DC one to what we've got today. So there she is, busting through all the eras of DC logos. Very clever design. $6 for that Multiversity Hardly Screws Up the DCU variant cover. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 53 from 1992 for 15. This is from Mirage Studios. This is still in the era where Eastman and Laird are writing Ninja Turtles, and it's chapter 4 in the City at War. I think it was a 13-part series that running through Ninja Turtles. And this has the first full appearance of Karai, K-A-R-A-I. That is the granddaughter of Shredder. So that lineage coming to we'll say the canon of Ninja Turtles. Dynamic cover there, I like that. Ninja Turtles 53 from 92, November of 92. Key book, Old Ninja Turtles, Mirage Studios. Cool. Let's go to This book is gorgeous. It was a tough one to come across. And Henry with the claim TMNT. Not too late on that. We got you on there, Henry. All right. This really is probably worth getting graded, but I'll let you check that out. X-Men number 92 for $40. This is from 1975. We have our Red Raven Lives Again cover. The cover done by Ron Wilson. This is from an interesting era of X-Men in which they were reprinting other books, but I'll be honest, it's already been claimed. I just want to showcase how awesome this book is that Cecil just claimed here. But the colors are sharp. We've had like 2 books of this era that I thought were of this high grade. Really, it's like $40 on there, and that's going to Mr. Cecil Perry. Cecil, if you already have that book, you just upgraded. I almost guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get this graded.
I thought about it.
92?
Yeah.
Very sharp.
Codename Ric Flair, Magic 8 Ball. Woo! For $5. That Ric Flair. This is a one-shot from Scout Comics. It posits this biographical story that Ric Flair was not just a wrestler, but also a super spy. And what better a cover than a professional wrestler? He travels around the country, around the world. Nobody questions why. He goes from point A to point B, and there you go. That was all coordinated by covert ops and stuff like that. Sure, sure it was. $5 for Codename Ric Flair, Magic 8 Ball number 1. There he is. The woo comes from if ever you go to a Colorado Mammoth lacrosse game, after any score, Ric Flair's mug comes up on screen and the whole crowd gives a woo. It's communal. It's fun. Captain Marvel Dark Tempest number 2 for $4. It's an artist I don't get to show often enough because honestly we just don't have a whole lot by her. But Rose Besch, Beasch. She's garnering quite the following, and she does a lot of great looking variant covers here. We're like on Captain Marvel Dark Tempest number 2. It's Captain Marvel versus Nitro in that book. Nitro, who's been in the Captain Marvel canon and an antagonist for a long time. Batman number 1 from 2016, $5 here on the first issue of that Batman from the DC Universe Rebirth era. Tom King is the writer, ace of a writer, and then an ace of an artist on the cover and the interior work with David Finch. It's interesting. Like I think we've kind of said before, when like New 52 came along and DC Rebirth and things like that, Batman is always just a standout. They get some great creators and contributors to these to Batman. Jeremy Parker Ryan with that claim Bat. You got it, Jeremy. With regard to the Ric Flair book, Cecil's adding some insight here. It says, now that explains his whining and dining and profiling on his promos. Thank you for that Ric Flair moment there. Right. This is a hot book, and if you've seen the Loki 2 trailer, you'll agree. $100 on Timeless #1, rated at 9.8. This is a variant book that caught people off guard. This is the first cover appearance of Miss Minutes from the Loki series. Shoot, I just about had the voice actress who works on it. She's done a ton of work. I really should be able to pull that. But Miss Minutes, it looks like, is going to appear in, well, I'm saying she does because it's in the trailer for Loki Season 2, and playing maybe a more substantial role than we've seen in the prior series. But here in that Timeless book, that written by Jed MacKay, it's kind of dealing with Kang and multiverse and stuff like that, but with those, it was like kind of writing those moments in history and in the multiverse. Here we have Miss Minutes on the Humberto Ramos variant cover, $100, rated at 9.8. Okay, this is a great price point for kind of 2 chapters in Cage. $4 for Cage numbers 9 and 10. Those are 1992 or 92, 93. It's like December, January. With Luke Cage versus Rhino and the Hulk. It's a good That's a good mano-y-mano. That's a good 1-2 for Luke Cage to go against. Dwayne Turner does the cover and the interior art. He was the artist on a great majority of this Cage series. That is the same, we'll say, the same Luke Cage or Power Man, but in the 90s it just went by Cage. Claim Cage to Mr. Henry Hopkins. Henry, congrats on a cool Hulk story there. A couple cool Hulk books to add to the collection. For $40, this is a unique book, Spider-Verse #1 from 2019. There's a few Spider-Verses, so that year is kind of essential. Greg Horn is our variant cover artist. This is the Greg Horn Virgin cover B with our kind of our symbiote infused Spider-Gwen. You got a few things going on. So it's Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider with the symbiote, just making things looking all crazy like that. And Greg Horn is a great matchup, a great artist to assign to this cover. Awesome. Anti-Gwenum? Sure, we'll take that. I'll take that, Valentine. You're not? Yeah. We'll go with Anti-Gwenum. Perfect. Let's go to... This is a set I put together just recently here. It's one of those that, like, as I was finding, I was like, surely we don't have every one of these. Yes, we do. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's just 4 parts. But what it's fun about it is the for $20, this is the Sinister War chapters 1 through 4 of 4, in which the Sinister Six face off against the Savage Six. So it's Spidey, like he almost can't fit on his own cover here, and they're the connecting cover variant covers done by Mark Bagley. We got the first 2 there, and then as you can see, these bridging together as well. It's kind of in, I almost want to say, kind of in the round with our Sinister Six characters and the Savage Six characters on either side. It's written by Nick Spencer, responsible for a lot of cool Spider-Man stories, and then Mark Bagley does the covers, and I think he does the interior art as well. I think he does. That Sinister War set with that claim Spidey going to Cecil. Cecil on that Sinister War Spidey set. Congrats. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin Lost Years number 545. This is the variant cover done by Kevin Eastman. Eastman, and also responsible as one of the writers of our Last Ronin series. And this is the last of that Lost Years kind of prequel miniseries that we've had. And Eastman, and each of these Eastman variants have been a wraparound cover. This one is as well, as that does go onto the back. Eastman just working on his own terms, and that the aspect ratio of it is insane. I don't know. It's the size of the canvas he had is what it was. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Well, wrap around to the back, but it doesn't wrap all the way around. Doesn't matter. $5 for that in TMNT Last Ronin Lost Years Eastman variant. X-Men number 25 for $6. This is a relatively new one in that it is an oversized anniversary issue. It is very thick. There's a lot of pages going to it, in which we have the debut of Shadowcat. Shadowcat spelled with a K. Gary Dugan is the writer, but Shadowcat is the new moniker given to Kitty Pryde, or I know I was trying to come up with this a couple weeks ago too. The other names that she's had, like Ariel, Red Queen, Sprite. Now she's Shadowcat with a K. I like that she's already existed in other media like movies and such, because that her power just lends itself so well to passing through things, passing through people and stuff like that. That's just cool. Grimm number 5 for $4. This is the Jenny Frozone variant cover. It wraps up the first story arc published by Grimm, or published for Grimm by Boom Studios. Stephanie Phillips is the writer. Grimm, which initially started as kind of a spin-off of the Alice Ever After, is going strong in its own right. Even if that's not the motivator that it came out of another cool series, Grimm is awesome. Grimm, it's a cool one. I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed seeing the pull list individuals. The pull list kind of grow with that one, where it goes from there's a certain number ordering issue 1, and then to see that number go up to issue 2 and issue 3 that's great. That's an awesome sign. A 3-chapter story here at a great price as well. Punisher, numbers 77 through 79 for $5. Survival, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 of 3. Each is the direct edition with that Punisher logo. They've got that nice framing. It makes for a nice presentation of 1, 2, and 3 all together. It's Punisher in Alaska, and he starts off fighting just nature, going against nature, but then he finds this paramilitary group, and things don't go well with them either. So it's Punisher versus all that Alaska has to offer, I guess. From 1993, with Val Mayrick doing the cover and the interior work. It's bombastic, it's energetic, it reminds me of Dwayne Turner on Cage Books. $5 for an entire story arc, a whole series.
Taking on the Lumberjacks.
That's right. Take that. All right, a trivia question for you here, and it's come up. It's all been alluded to by way of our live sales here. You may just know it's straight up too. Jack Kirby and Neil Gaiman both created characters that share this name. I realized I wrote it as a question, but there is no question mark after it. It's almost a Jeopardy structure. Jack Kirby and Neil Gaiman both created characters that share this name. I see people jumping through there with the right answer. Let me see who was the right one. Oh yes, you guys don't disappoint. Because Buck Wild, Dave, you were both correct. However, the first one, and Valentine, you were correct as well. But Cecil, you were the first one with Sandman.
Oh, an outside wager there.
Yeah, he's
I'm not putting down Cecil, but
so you're going with that Sandman draw. You're going to get the Sandman Universe Special. Thessaly, a one-shot spin-off of the Sandman Universe and Nightmare Country. So it's a nice one-shot that you can check out, and
cool.
It's also a little mature there. So congrats on, and yeah, you guys are quick. I tell you, you guys are lightning. this is one I was honestly looking for earlier, and I'm glad you're very welcome, Cecil. I
Glad you got
thought
it.
I had it left in the other room. $50 here on Uncanny X-Men number 200, graded at 9.6. It's a key book and a big anniversary size book there, in which Starjammers make an appearance. But Chris Claremont is the writer, with John Romita Jr. Providing the cover and the interior artwork. It's that double-sized issue. Yeah.
90?
It's from 1985.
Oh, even older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to consider, too, that it took a while for books to crest that $1.25 mark. So, yeah.
That should have told me.
What those? Oh, well, it's double-sized. I mean, in this era, I mean, like the Secret Wars book is not $1.25. That I always feel like that kind of limits how many could exist, but that's an anniversary size. Why not? $50 for that X-Men 200 at 9.6.
Secret Wars was 75 cents.
Yeah, to go from 75 cents to that $1.25, substantial. We have just $3 here on Silk number 2. This is from Silk's first solo series, debuted in 2015, and this is also the first print of this book. The second print is dramatically different in colors. It's same design, but I think it's like I'll say like maybe purple or something like that. Purples and blues. Robbie Thompson is the writer, and this cool cover with Silk facing off against Hydra, designed by and illustrated by Dave Johnson. Dave Johnson this is his strength. It's putting together cool design and telling a story in a snapshot. And just $3 on that Silk number 2. And I didn't miss you there, but Jeremy Parker Ryan on Claim Silk. Congratulations, Jeremy. So it's a slick one. That Silk is slick. Okay, Star Wars Adventures number 29 for $5, and our $5 Star Wars book here is the 1-in-10 ratio variant. Manuel Bracci does our 1-in-10 ratio variant here. And one of the other cool things within it is bridges that action figure droids variant we've seen, in that there's a name, Tony Fleece. Fleece is one of the interior artists of our Star Wars Adventures. He does a Star Wars droids story in our Adventures book, which, knowing Tony, he is always a huge fan of the animated droids series, and he collected the action figures and stuff. So the fact that he got to not just do Star Wars, because that means a whole lot to him, but to also do a droids specific Star Wars, sweet spot. A 1-in-10 for $5 as well. That's terrific.
We got to see Tony again.
Yeah, I miss him.
I'll take him to dinner.
Kind of. Harley Quinn Annual number 1 for $6 is the 2021 annual of HQ. Stephanie Phillips is the writer, who I mentioned on Grimm. Writers got it right. They when they get rolling, they end up doing a lot of fun stuff. It's a cool cover here done by David LaFuente, and he also does the interior artwork. It's it's Harley versus Keepsake. It's the name of the villain that we introduce here in our Harley annual book, and in doing so, she teams up with Solomon Grundy. $6 for that Harley 2021 annual. Also at $6, Uncanny X-Men number 163. 1982 is a 60-cent cover. If you're trying to figure out the era based on the cover price, so we've been talking about that a little bit. With the origin of Binary featured here in that Uncanny X-Men book, written by Chris Claremont, with them facing off against Brood, or the Brood. I don't know if there's a the in there or not. I lost my focus. Cecil with the Claim X-Men.
Like Eagles.
It's what?
like eagles.
Eagles? What?
Yeah,
Their eyes don't
It is
focus.
not the eagles.
Oh, it's the Eagles.
Eagles.
Correct.
And that one goes to
Cecil. Congratulations, Cecil. All right, I have to tell you about this book a little bit. In fact, I'll open it up so you can actually see what's going on. Here we have $4 on Fire and Ice #1, the blank variant of Fire and Ice #1. I appreciate when they do this, but it does make it a challenge sometimes. We actually do have 2 of them here, but they put a protective sleeve over the actual blank cover, so that blank remains, without any, nothing's going to add texture to it, nothing's going to scuff it or anything until an artist is ready to work on it. On Fire and Ice #1, the blank variant for 4. This is from, if the name sounds familiar, if you don't know it all yet, but it is Frank Frazetta. He's responsible for the Fire and Ice, and Ralph Bakshi. I think that's pronounced. They had a movie from 1982, and this is a prequel to that animated movie. Ralph Bakshi had a lot like rotoscoping in his stuff, so he also did the. If you remember what the original animated Lord of the Rings looks like, Fire and Ice looks a lot like that too, with Frank Frazetta's artwork being the source material. $4 for that Fire and Ice blank #1. Ralph Bakshi? Banshee? That's. I think it's pronounced Banshee, but I don't know. I'm not great at that. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about.
We'll get with John Travolta. He'll tell us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, John Travolta will fill us in on how that's supposed to be pronounced. Hello, Mr. John. John Garrison joining us this evening too. The wickedly talented Ralph Bakshi. Star Wars: The Mandalorian, Season 2, Number 2 for $5. This is this is a great reason for some of these variants with the concept art, and so they choose a piece of the concept art to represent each chapter. The Star Wars Mandalorian, this is Season 2, Issue 2. It's translating or adapting the Mandalorian series, episode for episode, issue for issue. Kind of a cool idea. I like that. And then the concept art that we see over the end credits, they're kind of repurposing that into the concept art variants. It's brilliant. It looks great. Jeremy Parker Ryan with the Claim Mando. And I think I type Mandalorian more often than some people do, but it is M-A-N-D-A. It's kind of a Mandela effect, but that is not Mandalorian, it's Mandalorian. An A in there, even though Carl Weathers calls him Mando all the time. I have to consciously not type Mandalorian. Chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the series. This gets you kicked off into the Original Sin for $10. These books have some cool value. This is the first half of that arc. Written by Jason Aaron, if you know that name. It's a writer of some great quality. And someone has shot The Watcher. I mentioned The Watcher earlier in the Earth X series, and it's a mystery revolved around that. There's uniform covers, and the second one is the debut of a new Hulk Buster armor in there too. It's cool stuff. With Claim Sin to Buck Wild. Justin Buck Wild Robinson, congrats on the Original Sin. There was a... If you saw the movie The Shadow, starring Alec Baldwin, they were so trying to make it into another Batman that they had, you gotta have a cool theme song. The theme song to that, with a music video, is called Original Sin, as performed by Taylor Dane.
I have it.
That song is awesome.
Hard to find. Hard to find.
It is hard to find. Ghosts of the Past, chapters 1 through 4 of through the Incredible Hulk. I'll show you all 4 issues here because they are cool. Illustrated and covers by Dale Keown. It's Hulk versus the UFOs and Leader, and then it's the issue 400 that it caps on. Finishes up on 400 with that holofoil Hulk versus Leader again, as illustrated by Dale Keown, written by Peter David. It's from 1992. That was the 30th anniversary of Hulk back then. So he's now 60 years old. $10 for that Hulk 4-chapter arc. Alright, Hulk's one of the original Avengers. I'm going to show you something very cool with that in mind. When I say the original Avengers, I'm talking, well, you know, the Avengers comic, but then within the movies, there's a set group of Avengers that people would usually associate to who the original Avengers are. This is the first appearance of one of those Avengers. $400. We have 400 on Tales of Suspense, number 52. This is the first appearance of Black Widow. Black Widow's first appearance, and she's headlined her own movie, is here in our Tales of Suspense, number 52 from 1964. Stan Lee, is by way of the Marvel Method, was one of the writers on this, with also contributing to this is Larry Lieber, no relation, there's an I in there. Don Heck, Jack Kirby does our cover, and that is Black Widow on the cover there as well. She hasn't changed a bit.
Wow. What year?
64. Yep. To see that Hulk was in 63 and Black Widow's just a year later here, and against the Crimson Dynamo, introducing the gorgeous new menace of the Black Widow. Part of that era where a lot Hawkeye ended up in this realm, and where it's they're a bad guy first, but you know what, they're a lot of fun. Let's let that pivot. A very cool key book from, we'll just kind of say all time.
I'm surprised it's only 2.5. It's got a bad corner, but
It's
man,
it is a book that, like, if looking to have an Avengers first appearance in your collection, that is a price conscious way to do so. Someone here was asking, is that really worth that? I was like, let me show you where 9.8 would fall. Like, jeez. Okay, yeah, that's more than fair. A facsimile edition of another cool key first appearance. Facsimile edition of Fantastic Four number 52, with the debut and introduction of Black Panther. Jack Kirby does our artwork and is responsible for the cover here as well. But it reprints that iconic first appearance, and the Marvel Universe was all so interlinked and will cross over enough that it's not wildly unique that Black Panther would be debut in Fantastic Four and then make his way to Avengers and then to his own series as well. But $40 for that facsimile edition of Fantastic Four number 52. Like I said, on these cool facsimile editions, you can also they have Norman Rockwell there on the back. We're looking for people who like to draw, says Norman Rockwell. There's a few people here who like to draw. Norman Rockwell would like to be your friend. 4. I got 4-part chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 of his first solo series. Speaking of other unique Avengers in there, Hercules, Prince of Power, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 4. This was published in 1982. 60-cent cover prices. You know what's interesting too is it started with that kind of diamond, and I was curious if these were maybe like Whitman prints or something like that. No, it started with the diamond and then went to a more traditional banner on the next issues, which I think is kind of wild. So Hercules had his first solo series, his first mini-series, kicks off with that number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the 4th one. I don't know how this isn't his last issue of all time, but Galactus is taking beef with Hercules, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he survives that. You'll have to check out the series to find out. Amazing Spider-Man number 49 for $8. It's not an oversized anniversary issue, as this is the legacy numbering puts us at number 850. Big square bound edge there. It's a variant cover done by Mahmoud A. Asghar, the black costume variant here. This one of the other things they do on these big anniversary issues. They do try to try to align it with something big and significant. That is to say, the return of Norman Osborn as Green Goblin is here in this 96-page ASM number 49. Goblin returns then. We got Doc Ock returning right now. I mean, it's, you can't keep a good villain down. All right, here's another little quick trivia for you guys here. I think you'll know this. Okay. New Teen Titans number 2 is the first appearance of whom? Whose first appearance is in that New Teen Titans number 2 from 1980? A Marv Wolfman, George Perez classic. If you know whose first appearance was in that Teen Titans book, you will get a related book. Beast Boy is a very good guess there, Jeremy. Huh? And Raven, also a good guess, Dave. However, I do see the correct answer from Cecil. Cecil flexing some comic knowledge there with the answer of Deathstroke. Deathstroke's first appearance is in that Teen Titans number 2 from 1980. This is a cool Deathstroke cover. I mostly wanted to share this. It's Titans number 31. Terra, man, you guys got good. These are really good guesses. Those are great guesses, guys. Game, but with and good looking icon. Good looking icon there. With that, and Cecil coming back to the Deathstroke, Deadpool OG. Yeah. Deadpool is it's you don't have to go far down the rabbit hole to just find all these wild parallels between the two. It's fascinating that there wasn't more fallout from how much Deadpool is exactly like Deathstroke. You know that name. That sounds Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 9 for $4. Our Miles book here is Miles versus Hobgoblin. There's rumblings about Hobgoblin being utilized in some upcoming, we'll say like Sony Spider-Verse type things. It makes sense. Cody Ziegler is the writer, but I'm also a big fan of this Mateus Manhani variant cover with kind of kind of Excalibur looking sword there. It's dynamic, it's cool. It's an artist I'm not that familiar with, but based on this, I would like to see a whole lot more. $4 for that Miles Morales Spider-Man. Number 9. Number 9?
Number 9.
Number 9. Batman Fortress, number 1 for $4. This is Gary Whitta is the writer of this this miniseries, in which Batman is going against aliens. Aliens are invading Earth by way of Gotham and around the world, and it is with a big question mark. Can the Dark Knight stop an invasion of Earth? We'll put a question mark on there. You know he reads it exactly as you type it. $4 for that Batman Fortress number 1 with the aliens. Aliens versus the Bat. This is from 1970, our next book here. It's Astonishing Tales featuring Kazar and Doctor Doom for $7. This is so it's kind of like you get both stories for the price of one, pretty much. Kazar battles Kraven the Hunter. Speaking of the Spider-Verse and Sony things that are coming soon, and Kazar battles Kraven, and it's 40 floors straight down for the loser. And then in chapter 2, not to be outdone, Doctor Doom, our master of menace at the mercy of the Doomsman. Looks like Doom versus the Mummy. Sure, $7 for that Astonishing Tales book from 1970, 15-cent cover. Yeah. It looks pretty good.
Oh, it is good.
Oh, lost my note. It's 35. That doesn't happen to me very often. $35 here on Amazing Fantasy #1. It's from 2004. Mark Brooks does the cover, but what's really significant here, and one of the reasons you've seen this maybe on some hot comics lists and books to watch, is that this is the first appearance of Aranya. She's rumored to be, in fact, there's already somebody that they think may have been cast to portray our kind of Latinx Spider-Man in. She may appear in Madam Web, which is following Craven the Hunter movie from Sony as well. So this being her first appearance in a unique book. It's not not a Spider-Man book. It's not Amazing Spider-Man or anything like that, but Amazing Fantasy #1 for $35. Again, you can keep your eye on that. That's a book you'll see come up, like I said, on a lot of lists and such out there too. All right, you guys have been real quick on these already, but just have once. But we'll give me a Claim Bats. That's Bats with an S. Claim Bats. You're going to get the Batman Joker Deadly Duo, Book 6. I mostly just want to showcase Bill Sienkiewicz and just his sheer artistry. He's so good, and but he's earned a position where he could just do like a super dark cover with just that little sliver of Batman. It's almost unfair, but like I said, he has earned it with a career of providing great artistry to comics. With the first Claim Bats, you guys are all so dang quick, is to Jeremy Parker Ryan with the Claim Bats. You're getting that Batman Joker Deadly Duo, Book 6, the variant cover by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Kapow.
Kapow.
When Jeremy fires, I think he says that in his head. Kapow.
Kapow. Wonder Woman #800 for $7. It's cover done by Berlin Ortega, but the big anniversary issue. Anniversary issues are always fun because they get all sorts of great folks and individuals to work on these, like Joelle Jones, Todd Nayok, Tom King writes one of our stories here in our Wonder Woman 800. The title of it is kind of play on some other very well-known stories. This is called Whatever Happened to the Warrior of Truth. If that rings a bell at all, it's familiar because there's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader. It's kind of hypothetical what-if stories told, maybe not what-if stories, but jumping to the far-flung future when you get to that point where in these universes someone would actually utter that to say, whatever happened to the Cape Crusader? Yeah, so it's reflective, kind of an in memoriam in a weird way, of some other highlights that may still yet to come. So here we have our Whatever Happened to the Warrior of Truth. Those other books were written by like Neil Gaiman and Alan Moore, so yeah, it's a pretty good pedigree to lay a foundation of a great structure for a story like that. Kevin, hey, says made it back from vacay. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for. I'm glad this is kind of capping off a great vacation for you there, Kevin. Yeah, I'm gonna tune in and see some great comics too.
Stay tuned for the recap if you missed any.
Oh yeah, we got some great recap stuff coming too. $3 for a unique book here. This is Fantastic Four Roast #1. It's a one shot from 1982. This is a kind of an all humor issue. It's and sup nerds from Mr. Terry. Terry, what's up? Aha! It's a wraparound cover with. This is kind of. You can't say that this didn't inspire like a Scotty Young at some point to have these caricatured characters from the Marvel Universe in a Marvel proper book. In fact, too. I mean, welcome to the party. It's. I think it was kind of Marvel saying like we need to beat other people to the punch. It looks like Mad Magazine too. I mean, it's not exactly, but still. With Claim FFR as in Fantastic Four Roast. Cecil, that's on a unique Fantastic Four book. Cecil's got a cool collection. You may or may not have that. If you didn't, it wouldn't surprise me. It adds and fills in some cool stuff there. Also just at $3, 2099 World of Tomorrow. Our 2099 book, also with a wraparound cover. See how I bridged those two? A wraparound cover with our Fantastic Five in the Savage Land. The future of Marvel superheroes begins here, with an exclamation point. Joe Kelly is one of the writers of our oversized 52-page book from 1996. An acclaimed 2099 from Mr. Terry, 2099 forever. Terry, congrats on a cool 2099 book. You might not have that one. It's one I don't see as often as some of the other 90s ones. Joe Maduria artwork? It's not, but dang, it looks like it. You're not wrong, Cecil. That looks, it's very inspired by him. From 93 as well. Pitt #1 for $4. This is the Rippin' first issue. No time for a G. We're gonna Rippin', our Pitt book, with the first appearance of Pitt is in our Image comic here. The reason, this is just prime, that Dale Keown was coming off of a very successful run on Hulk, which we saw in the miniseries, and he was a lot of stuff being written for him by Peter David on Incredible Hulk. He then jumps to Image, where he can create and own his own character here. And so if it looks like Hulk, yes, it kind of does. It's fun. Pitt was a cool book. It should have been a trivia question for the book. You're not wrong. With that claim, Pitt is going to Mr. Cecil and to Justin Buckwild Robinson. I see 2 Pitts on there, and I've got 2. There we go. Congratulations, both of you. But like I said, a cool 90s book. Just that's what Image was all about. That you get great artists like that and have them completely showcased that way. Spider-Man 2099, #1 for $4. This is Ron Lim's variant cover of Spidey 2099. So the future began here in 1993. I guess it's continuing here with an exclamation point. This is in 2019, our Spidey 2099. #1, it's even nice in cover with that Ron Lim cover. Ron Lim he worked on X-Men 2099. I think he did the covers and the interior work on those. And Terry with that claim 2099. And I tell you what, Tommy J. Medina, welcome. First time seeing you there too. And we've got you on that Spidey 2099 as well. I had 2 of them. Terry was our first, and the other claim Spider-Man to Tommy J. Claim Miguel O'Hara. Clever. But so we had 2 of them, but it's okay. That's the type of book I might be able to find again for us in the future. Okay. Next up, another mini-series, a whole 4-part limited series. Chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Damage Control. I believe this is the first Damage Control series. I'm actually pretty sure of that. From 1984 for $10. This is the 4-issue series when the superheroes need help. They call Damage Control. To which we can even declare, you'll pay for this, Doom, with when Doom defaults. Sure, you will literally pay for this. I knew we'd be getting into trouble wearing these costumes. Trust me, it's good for business. And Wolverine in the 4th issue of that Damage Control. Cecil with the claim DC. A rare Marvel DC claim from Cecil there. Well done. Okay. I mentioned Rose Besch on the Captain Marvel book we'd seen earlier, a variant cover there. This is a couple years back, and it's a book that's been growing in popularity, and the price just keeps climbing each time I've looked at this at all. Silk #2 for $70. This is the Rose Besch variant of that Silk #2 from 2021. If you're looking at like a legacy numbering, it's number 28, the 28th Silk book. But it's that that's really kind of highlighting what makes her style really cool. You can see kind of some anime influence, but then also very stylized and maybe kind of graffiti art. It's a unique addition to we'll say like the Spider-Verse covers and things like that. So oh, Terry with Love Rose Besh. Yep. Yeah, yeah, she's great. If it was years ago, she would be getting her own Image series of some sort, because that's what would have happened back then. Today we get great covers like that, and this book is going to Mr. Cecil Perry with that silk book. It's gorgeous. It's just such a cool looking book. Congratulations on that. Let's see. We saw the what did we call her? The Anti-Gwenom. I'm surprised I've not really shown many a Venom book here tonight. I'm going to resolve that right now. Venom number 7, graded at 98450. This is the Sujin Joe Battle Lines variant cover. So you get that full art. That full art here of that Venom book is from 2018. There's Donny Cates is our writer of Venom in this era too. Awesome. This has the first appearance of Dylan Brock in a cameo as well. So again, if you're kind of trying to put that in a timeline as where that falls in the Venomverse, and yeah, I actually do mean Venomverse. Usually that's just to say like a multiverse, but I'm talking about the actual linear canon of Venom. Our Virgin cover here, and there we have some of the other details for that Battle Lines. Oh, there's our artist's name there too. 50 for Venom number 7, graded at 9.8. Beautiful presentation. I adore the Virgin covers when we can find them graded like that.
2018.
So it was mentioned a little bit ago, is that Joe Madureira on that 29.9. Okay, this is who we were referencing. Just at $3, Uncanny X-Men. Oh, drat, let me get the number here. 323. X-Men 323 43. And there's our Joe Madureira working on Wolverine, and yeah, and one of the things I remember about his artwork too, it was influential on like kind of what X-Men were looking like, to the degree that he worked with Toy Biz to provide some of the designs for the action figures of that same era. So, like, I have an Apocalypse that he designed. So as like the proportions are wild, just like gigantic feet and big arms and stuff. But especially seeing it in an action figure, you get kind of why that was cool and significant. $3 for the X-Men 323. Speaking of action figures, I think you guys are going to love this. This is exciting to share. Yeah, this is cool. We have 125 on this for Last Ronin number 1, graded at 9.6. We got to show a Last Ronin book, I think it was last week, and this is that first issue of the Last Ronin series, came out in 2020. Written by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, that they're returning to write Ninja Turtle books, and we'd seen it on the Mirage book from many years earlier, but it'd been some time since we'd seen them together again for the first time. Last Ronin number 1 with and we might have, I know we had it on our vault page too, but if you hadn't seen the teaser trailer for the Last Ronin video game that is coming, I feel like that's going to just reintroduce and introduce a lot of casual Ninja Turtle fans to a terrific series. One of the most important series that they've had in a very long time, rated at 9.6. And if it looks bigger on screen, it definitely is, because every other because it was kind of printed at like a golden age size. It's now, when you get it graded, it's kind of a magazine size, and then it's even thicker for that matter too. It's it's big in every sense. 125 on that last Roman. Number 1 graded at 9.6. Yeah, not a normal size book. You got that right. Yeah, it is. It is. It really tested well us too because all the books we have in our shop and at conventions and in store that are in pull lists, they're all bagged and boarded. So we had to figure out what fit that thing. The slab is helpful in that respect. Radioactive Spider-Gwen number 6. Latour is our writer, and Robbie Rodriguez does our dynamic cover and the interior artwork. And it's a nice visual cue as to who else appears in our Spider-Gwen book, with Captain America making a guest appearance in our Spider-Gwen, Radioactive Spider-Gwen number 645. Let's see, we'll go from Spider-Gwen to Spider-Man and Black Cat. Here, $10 on The Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Our ASM 31 for $10 is the Greg Land Black Cat variant. I applaud any artist when they're illustrating Black Cat or Catwoman, and they incorporate cats. It's right there. You can just surround them with cool kitties, and then it has that crossover appeal too. Our Spider-Man book is Legacy number 925. Since it's a multiple of 25, it makes a big anniversary size. Look at that square bound. You can put it on a bookshelf. As the first cameo appearance of Mary Jane as Jackpot, and the first appearance of Madame Monstrosity as well. Nice alliteration on the Madame Monstrosity. $10 for that anniversary size big ASM book there. Cecil was saying he couldn't believe Santana bought the 9.8 graded set a few months ago. Yeah, that was the 9.8 graded set of
Last Ronin.
It was Last Ronin that we had, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that exists. Yeah. They do exist. Captain America and Falcon, number 1, for $3 is a one-shot focusing on the Falcon and Red Wing. There, we got him right there on the front page there too. Our one-shot tying into Fear Itself, written by Rob Williams. Rob Williams is also responsible for things like, he's written like a lot of Ghost Rider, things like that too. With the claim cap going to Mr. Kevin Wheeler. Kevin, congrats on that. Captain America and the Falcon. That fills in a gap for you there. Suicide Squad number 1 from 2019. It's $5 here on the first issue of that Suicide Squad series, in which it says the first team appearance of this iteration, or say lineup of our Suicide Squad, with Harley Quinn, Deadshot, TNT is one of them. Let's see, Locke, Chaos Kitten. Great. There's such cool. Suicide Squad is a fun idea. I'm glad we have a great movie. Yeah, I know there are 2 of them. We have a great Suicide Squad movie. Ivan Rice also provides our cover here, and I think just appropriately so, as Harley declares, by the end of this issue, half of our team will be dead. Sounds about right. That's what kind of, I don't know. that fragility does make it fun. $5 for the first issue. Amazing Spider-Man number 84. This is from 1970. Good looking copy at that. 25 for our ASM 84 with the cover and artwork by John Romita, written by Stan Lee. There we go. There's some full disclosure. Some issue along the top edge, but that's not too bad. The color's looking really nice. The corners there, again, not too bad. It's got some wear, but I feel like the colors and the sharpness of it really make up for an awful lot there. Cecil with the Claim ASM. Cecil, that's a great edition there. It has Kingpin on the cover. Vanessa Fisk is featured in there too. Okay, this is gonna be. There's a cool key book. It's kind of try to price it very fairly here too with X-Men number 107 for $70. This is from 1977. A lot of sevens in there. 107, 1977 for $70. This is the first appearance of the Starjammers. Dave Cockrum does our cover here. Chris Claremont is the writer. Starjammers, we'll say tangential to the X-Men universe. And when at Disney World they have the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster, and when you're going through, there's an area where they display a bunch of the other ships that exist, and the ships are all labeled with different names. One of them is labeled Starjammer, and I do not know why. If that's not a reference to the Starjammers, I don't know why you would otherwise pick a name that already has relation to the Marvel Universe. So I'm going to say they're already alluding to Starjammers existing. Cecil with the Claim X-Men. Boy, again, it's just such a nice looking copy. Congrats on an awesome key X-Men book there. Okay, our next one here, also from '77, is another key book for Suicide Squad's a group of weirdos, but this is as well. Our showcase presents number 95 from '77 for just $4. It's a key book from that Showcase Presents series, as this is the second appearance of Doom Patrol. You got Robot Man in here, DC's latest and greatest super team, Robot Man Unchained, against the immortal villainy of General Immortus. Yeah, it's kind of Doom Patrol are kind of a bunch of weirdos who are kind of X-Men like. That's fair. Yeah, I'll go with that. $4 for that Showcase Presents number 95. Let's do... that's what I was looking for. Hellions, number 5, graded at 9.8 for $60. I may already recognize, because I've already mentioned him here tonight. We saw him on the Earth X number 0 cover. This is the Alex Ross full art timeless Virgin cover with our Phoenix on our cover of Hellions number 5, graded at 9.8. There's some of the help on the back there. Tying into the X of Swords, Hellions. The Ross covers are just so striking and cool. And right now we're getting connecting covers that Alex Ross is putting out of kind of recreating Jim Lee's X-Men. And at the same time, we're also getting like connecting Avengers covers. Super cool stuff. $60 for that Hellions number 5, rated at 9.8. As we'll say, a blast from the past, is a book that or a title and kind of line I've not thought of in some time, but it's back, baby. Robotech for $4. Robotech Rick Hunter, number 1. It's from Titan Comics. Titan's responsible for things like the Dune comics and stuff, and there's at least one more. Books that are kind of continuing a legacy of some sort of fandom, and as they continue that, what I also like too is our first issue of Robotech Rick Hunter here. This is the cover done by Derek Chew. Derek Chew's also responsible for a lot of great Harley Quinn covers. He's done a long run of Harley Quinn covers, and when you see that, it tracks. That makes a whole lot of sense. In fact, that's Derek Chew. That's his, we'll say his autograph. We'll see on there too. $4 for Robotech Rick Hunter, #1. Min Mai says Cecil. I honestly, I don't know Robotech well enough. I'm sure you're making an awesome reference to it. There's something I know thoroughly in that. I never got. I don't know if maybe it just wasn't. It didn't syndicate where I lived. That's possible. Sometimes things like that would happen where I'm like, yeah, I know that one, and then others like, I've never even heard of this. Neil, hello, welcome. All right, a full story arc for a terrific price point here. If you're interested in reading a cool Luke Cage story here, Luke Cage numbers 5 through 8. You get the 4 chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 from 1992 for $6. That's a very welcoming price that means that you can actually open it up and read it. That's what I like too. Dwayne Turner are the cover artist and interior artist. I'm kind of a sucker when they have a story arc that actually has framing to help me figure out which books go into that series, and they even title them up there. The Evil and the Cure, chapters 1 through 4 of 4. Each is a new. Actually, 3 of the 4 are newsstand editions. That's interesting too. But it's Luke Cage going back and we'll say dealing with some of the program that made him is part of that Evil and the Cure. I like that too. Let's see, the plain Cage going to Buck Wild, Justin Robinson, with that full Cage story arc. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 51 for $10. I've mentioned Ninja Turtles a few times tonight, and I feel like almost every time I've mentioned Eastman and Laird, they are the writers here of this arc here, chapter 2 of 13 of that City at War, with coming out in 92. even as well known as the Ninja Turtles here in this era, Mirage is still sticking to everybody wears the red bandanas. Like we know that the animated series exists. We know that, in the movies we're not going to get all red bandanas for a spell, but I dig that. Just staying true to the way the Turtles were originally created. Here in that, like I said, that long arc spanning most of 1992, the City at War, $10 for that TMNT. Cecil was saying, I used to watch Robotech before I had to leave for the bus for high school, locally. That's fair. So Robotech was on that early in the mornings. Okay, that could be why I didn't catch it. I was busy watching, the news report. I don't know. No, I wasn't. I don't know where the German mark, the French franc, and the yen are relative to gold prices. Hit Girl number 1 for just $3. This is from 2018. Mark Millar is our writer, with a cover done by Amy Reeder, who I like Amy Reeder quite a bit. She's awesome. I think it helps when you get to meet some of these artists like at a convention, like a small convention early in their career. It's fun to see them progress. Amy Reeder, she was at, it wasn't like a giant Comic-Con. It was kind of like one of those that's up in Denver, and at like the hotel at I-70 in Chambers Road.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure she was there with Jeremy with the Claim hit. Jeremy, congrats on a cool Mark Millar book there.
we were going up to that hotel before the internet.
That's true. I found out by way of a postcard in the mail. That's how they got the word out. Was postcards. I'm not sure if the postcard would work these days. It might, just for sheer novelty's sake.
Yeah.
Batman Adventures Continue Season 3, number 1 for $4. This is from the aforementioned Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, two creators and individuals who worked on the original Batman animated series, and now they're continuing some of those stories by way of comics. Why not? I feel like when the HBO was putting together a Batman animated series, and I feel like it was moving along, and then something happened that we're not getting it. They merged with Discovery, and a lot of weird things happened to HBO and Warner Brothers, and things that were being made. So if you want to continue the Batman animated series, it's really by way of the comics, at least for now. It's Batman versus the Muscle. Our cover here done by Kevin Nolan, who I like Kevin Nolan's style. I think it actually bridges very well to the animated series. $4 for the first issue of that. Batman Adventures Continue Season 3, Number 1. Welcome, 90s. Here in Action Comics number 695 for $3. I'll be honest, this is, I think, a book I've shown before, but I just adore it. It's fun. It's foil. It's embossed. Yep, that's not just the sleeve with all those ripples and such. As we see the reflection as Superman, mullet and all. Oh yeah, with the reflection, we can get the full back of the back that party in the back. It's Superman versus Lobo. Actually, Lobo appears on one page, as it says, with Jackson Geist on the cover and the artwork, but Cauldron Kills from 94. Of course, it's from 1994. $3 for a cool blast from the past. Web of Venom, Cult of Carnage. It's kind of a full title, but it's a very cool book and a great presentation here. Web of Venom, Cult of Carnage, number 1, graded at 98475. This is the variant cover done by Gabriel Del Otto. Del Otto is one of those artists who just happens to work in comics. I feel like in another era he would be doing the pulp novel covers and stuff, like Frazetta would, kind of like where he found his footing initially. Yeah, it's mostly so I could share this great looking cover here. That's really presented like a movie poster, which I like too, with our creators along the top and our title card on there too. Our Web of Venom, Cult of Carnage came out in 2019. Kull, the Conqueror, number 1 for $5. Now, as I was mentioning, Frank Frazetta and Gabriel Del Otto, these are amazing artists. This is another I've put in a similar category as Joe Jusko. He is the cover artist here. It's a wraparound cover at that too. So it's Kull versus nature, really. There's the Jusko autograph there, and then. This came out in 1983, and the only way that you could kind of follow this up, the interior artwork is done by John Buscema. That's an awful lot of cool Kull activity there. $5 for that book from 83. That's going to Mr. Cecil Perry with Claim Kull. Claim Kull. All right, I feel like we're getting to a good spot for some recap here. All right. Yeah, we'll do. All right. Yeah. Let's go through some of the books that we had seen earlier. And all right. Yeah. We're gonna show them 3 up. It kind of go.
Actually, these were the early stuff. Sorry.
That's right. That was your earliest turn. Yeah. Cool. And you guys have been great about it so far tonight. But if it's something you want to claim, that's where we'll definitely need something related to the book. Some sort of shorthand or something like that. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Saturday Morning Adventures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 1 for $4. The first of that new ongoing series from IDW. Laddie is our cover artist and the interior artist. He has a great style to match up with that classic animated look. Kind of like from that similar era of Robotech. Void Rivals, number 2, the 1 in 10 ratio variant. That unique cover by Mindy Lee, $6 for that 1 in 10, featuring Transformers. If we're bringing everything back to Saturday morning cartoons, there you go. Gargoyles, number 5. Speaking of, this is a good theme we got here. $4 for the Lucio Perillo variant of Disney's Gargoyles number 5. And that claim void is going to Mr. Kevin Brown. Outstanding. Good pick there, Kevin. In fact, we'll slide our Gargoyles number 5 over there. Spider-Man number 14 with the homage to the John Romita wedding trade paperback cover art with Miles and Gwen in that Sarah Pichelli cover, written by Brian Michael Bendis from 2017. Spider-Man number 14 for 10. Women of Marvel number 1, a one-shot, again, with Sarah Pichelli providing the cover with stories in there featuring She-Hulk, Captain Carter, Storm, Elektra. $6 for the Women of Marvel number 1. Batman Adventures Holiday Special number 1. Regarded as one of the best single issues of Batman. Adventures aside, it's an award-winning single issue, that holiday special number 1 for $25, with the 4th appearance of Harley. With the claim of Spider-Man 14 from Mr. Jason Jones. Welcome. Good pick up on that Spidey book. That's a cool one. I don't see it that often. With the first appearance of Power Girl in her own series, her own story is Showcase presents number 97 from 1978 for $10, exploding into her own action-packed series. And Jason also with a claim of Batman. That is a terrific pickup. It's such a good book.
Jason Jones.
Jason Jones. Got the DC rolling here with the Young Justice number 1, written by Brian Michael Bendis, with the first team appearance of that new Young Justice lineup and the first appearance of Teen Lantern. $6 for that Young Justice number 1. This is flashy, and I'll tell you all about it because it doesn't give you much other than the neon colors. We're on Night Terrors number 3, the neon ink variant for $6. Dead Man versus Damien. Spider-Man Annual number 1, with a cover by R.B. Silva, the first chapter of the Contest of Chaos. $5 with Spidey versus Wolverine, not just on the cover, but in the book as well. Elvira in Monsterland number 3, the photo variant for $4. Cassandra Peterson there front and center, and she is also going to be at Colorado Springs Comic Con, as we will be there next week as well. There's my plug. That's what I needed. Multiversity. Harley screws up the DCU. Gila March's cover with Harley busting through the different eras of DC logo. I like that quite a bit. It's the Starro-filled finale of that series for $6. Sorry about the spoiler of kind of who appears in there, but Starro's an OG antagonist of the DC universe. Codename Ric Flair, Magic 8 Ball. Number 1, a one-shot quasi-biographic comic about Ric Flair, wrestler and super spy. $5 for that unique, fun book. As Terry was saying, he's a big Rose Besh fan. We've got the Captain Marvel Dark Tempest number 2 with the Rose Besh variant with Captain Marvel versus Nitro inside the book as well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin Lost Years number 5, the Eastman variant for $5. Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Alpha number 1, first of the 4-chapter series that's going to span Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and then be bookended with the Weapons of Vengeance stories there, with that cover done by Ryan Stegman and written by Ben Percy, who's also writing Wolverine at the moment too.
Couple.
Yeah. And let's see, we got the Claim of Lost Years from Mr. Kevin. Kevin, we've got you on that last issue of that Lost Years. Kevin Brown. And the Claim GRs and Ghost Rider also for Mr. Kevin Brown. Congrats on Wolverine Ghost Rider crossover. It feels like the 90s. It's a good thing. X-Men number 25 with the kind of introduction of Shadow Cat with a K. Written by Gary Dugan, $6. It's an oversized kind of anniversary book there for the X-Men number 25. Grimm number 5. The Jenny Frazone variant, written by Stephanie Phillips from Boom Studios. Frazone's great. Her covers are awesome. Another one that, if in a different era, would have her own image book. Ricardo, welcome. Just getting home from work? Well, I appreciate you tuning in and firing us up. We got some great stuff to share here too. Star Wars Adventures number 29, the 1 in 10 ratio variant for $5, with a story in there written by, illustrated by Tony Fleece, a droid's story in there. Harley Quinn Annual number 1, this is from 2021, with, like I said, I like, written by Stephanie Phillips, who also writes our Grimm book right next to it, with David LaFuente doing the cover and the interior work. If you like the look of that cover, the whole book looks that cool and wild. And Ricardo with Acclaim HQ. Ricardo, congrats on that Harley Quinn. All right, and I'll enlighten you what's going on here with the blank cover. This is it's the protective sleeve of Fire and Ice number 1. That's the Frank Frazetta, a prequel to the Frank Frazetta animated movie, also done by Ralph Bakshi. I'm going to commit to it. Prequel to that 1982 series from Dynamite Comics, $4 for that new Fire and Ice blank variant. And Kevin with the Acclaim X. Kevin, we got you on the X-Men number 25. Make sure I got that right there.
Evan Brown?
Yep. I don't think I've seen any other X books. I'm just triple check. Yep. And Acclaim of Fire and Ice is from Ricardo. That will be, Ricardo, if you're getting that to an artist to work on, or if you're working on it yourself, Fire and Ice has got a lot to work from. You're inspired by Frazetta. It's gonna be cool stuff. Amazing Spider-Man number 49, the 96-page oversized book with that black costume variant that Mahmoud A. Asar does our variant cover with a turn of Norman Osborn as Green Goblin, $8 for that ASM 49. Batman Fortress number 1. Can the Dark Knight stop an invasion on Earth? ? Batman versus Aliens. It's $4 for the first issue of that Batman Fortress miniseries. I've seen a couple claims. Let me make sure I got the right first one here. Claim SM as in Spider-Man to Ricardo. Congrats on the Spider-Man, the oversized Spider-Man variant book there. Astonishing Tales featuring Kazar and Doctor Doom from 1970. $7 for that. A book featuring Kraven the Hunter versus Kazar. That's some of the interest there. Wonder Woman number 800. A beautiful cover on an oversized book with the Whatever Happened to the Warrior of Truth. Beline Ortega does the cover, and a ton of great individuals contribute to that oversized book. Uncanny X-Men number 32343 with Joe Madureira cover and interior artwork. $3 for that X-Men. Radioactive Spider-Gwen number 6 with a cover and interior art by Robbie Rodriguez. $5 for that Radioactive Spider-Gwen. 6. Suicide Squad number 1 for $5 with the first team appearance of that unique Suicide Squad lineup and featuring Harley Quinn front and center. Ivan Rice does our cover, but you also get like Deadshot, TN Team, Locke, a lot of crazy cool characters in there. And not to be outdone by way of crazy cool characters, Showcase presents number 95 from 1977. That is the second appearance of Doom Patrol. Jim Aparo does our cover work. $4 for the Showcase Presents Key book. And let me make sure I did not miss a couple in here, because I've got the... You okay there?
Yeah.
Okay. With the Claim Gwen to Mr. Kevin Brown. Kevin, we've got you on the Radioactive Spider-Gwen. Congratulations, Kevin. And Ricardo with the Suicide Squad, the SS. That'll work. Congratulations, Ricardo. Got the Robotech Rick Hunter, #1, a new Robotech series from Titan Comics with that variant cover by Derek Chu, $4 for the new Robotech #1. TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, #51 from 1992, written by Eastman and Laird, $10 for that chapter in the City at War from Mirage Comics, Mirage Studios. Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 3, Issue 1. Issue 1 of the third season of our Batman Adventures arcs. Each season ran 12 issues, $4 for that. Batman Adventures Continue with a cover by Kevin Nolan. With the plain TMNT to Ricardo. That's a cool book. These Ninja Turtle books, they come erratically, just one here and there. So congratulations on that, Ricardo. Amazing Spider-Man #31, another oversized anniversary book with that variant cover by Greg Land, featuring Black Cat and cats. First cameo of Mary Jane as Jackpot and the first appearance of Madame Monstrosity. $10 for that Amazing Spider-Man 31. 90s goodness and Superman in Action Comics. Action Comics #695 for $3. A foil embossed cover. It's embossed, it's foil, it's got Lobo and a mullet, all on one cover. $3 for that book from 1994. So that's yep. And Acclaim SM, I'll take that as Acclaim Superman, not Spider-Man, but I think that's right there, Ricardo. If I'm in error at all, let me know. But Ricardo, we got you on the Superman, the Action Comics book there. Okay. Got a couple cool story arcs here, chapters, one through whatever, and let me get those cool ones here. Punisher, numbers 77 through 79. Survival, part 1, 2, and 3 of 3. You get the whole story arc for $5. If you like what's on the cover, the interior is the same with Punisher in Alaska. $5 for that story arc from 93. Incredible Hulk, Ghosts of the Past, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Illustrated by Dale Keown, written by Peter David. The last issue, number 400, again, a 400th issue spectacular with a holofoil cover on there. There we go. There's all the holofoil kicking around there. $10 for Hulk versus Leader in those stories there. Hercules in his first solo series and his first mini-series at that. You get issues 1 through 4 of 4. Hercules, Prince of Power. There he is versus Galactus, and Galactus is decidedly winning. $10 for that, his mini-series from 1982. Bob Layton is the cover artist, interior artist, and writer of the Hercules mini-series. He's a force to be reckoned with. I like that. All right, let's clear those big stacks there. And Cecil with Acclaim, Herc. That'll work, Cecil, in the Hercules series. I think you'll like that. I know you kind of like it in some of the, we'll say, when you get the entire series like that. And that's a great way to get a run from early 80s. That's awesome. Let's see, I got a couple other solo issues here. What's that?
All those slabs.
Yep. Yeah, we got some great slabs to share here. Spider-Verse #1, the Greg Horn Virgin cover. That's a Virgin cover B is where it's categorized. $40 for that book from 2019. As you can see, there's no other adornment on there on that Greg Horn exclusive. What do we call it? The oh shoot, Valentine had a good name for this. It was the Anti-Gwenum. There we go. that'll work. Let's see, we got the Spider-Verse next to Amazing Fantasy #1, with the first appearance of Aranya, who's rumored to be in the new Madam Web movie that we're getting at by way of Sony Studios. And I'm just lining up the Spider books here in a way. And then we also have the Miles Morales Spider-Man #9 with Miles versus Hobgoblin. 1, 2, 3, 4. And claim AF1 from Cecil. Cecil, I don't think you'd be disappointed. That's one that I honestly was, if it wasn't claimed here, it ended up at the Colorado Springs Comic Con, and I don't think it would survive the Comic Con. I'm almost certain it would sell up there otherwise. Okay. All right, let's look at some amazing slab books. Wow, we have some really cool books to present here. Department of Truth number 9. This is signed, and it's noted as signed and remarked by Martin Simmons, the interior artist. There's the Simmons autograph on there. Rated at 9.8. Oh, yes, I got you. Claim Greg. I've got you there, Jason, with the Greg Horn Spider-Verse. Thank you, Jason, for that very, very clear claim there. I appreciate that.
Jason Jones.
Yes, Jason, you'll love that. That is a beautiful book. We may, I don't know, next time, feels maybe grading worthy. We'll get a close eye on it. And speaking of graded, we have the signed and graded Department of Truth number 9, that Brewer variant cover, rated at 9.8 for 70. And also got you there too, Jeremy on the Miles Morales. Got you on an awesome Miles book there.
Who's this?
To Mr. Jeremy Parker Ryan. Todd McFarlane's cover to Marvel Tales number 238 from 1990, graded at 9.0. $40 on that Marvel Tales 238 at 9. Spidey and Juggernaut by way of Todd Father. That's what Todd McFarlane calls himself. I'm not making that up, right? Uncanny X-Men number 200, graded at 9.6 for $50. An oversized anniversary issue written by Chris Claremont with the Claim AM slab, or I'm sorry, Claim SM slab. I just misread that. The Spider-Man from Marvel Tales going to Ricardo. Congrats on the Spider-Man slab. It's a great price point for that too.
It
really
is.
You just can't. I mean, it's very close to just the price to have to get it graded, let alone being a cool book.
Exactly.
100 on Timeless number 1. Miss Minutes first cover, that variant cover of Timeless done by Humberto Ramos, graded at 9.8 for 100. As I was saying earlier, if you've seen the Loki season 2 trailer, I think she's going to be prominently in there. And there's her first cover as well. Tara Strong was the name I was trying to come up with earlier. I just had to come at it again. Secret Wars number 1, graded at 9.4 for $75. A classic miniseries and a classic cover that is inspired. Mike Zeck's cover has inspired a lot of other amazing covers like that. The Fantastic Four Facsimile Edition number 52, graded at 9.8 for just $40, representing the first appearance of Black Panther. And what's cool is, like, especially at this price point, it's one that you can display prominently and proudly that way. I like that. Black Panther, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, Fantastic Four, number 52 for $40. With a Claim FF slab to Ricardo. Ricardo, congrats on a cool Fantastic Four book. Again, the price is right on those. Venom number 7 for $50. This is the Battle Lines variant. That's what I was looking for. The Battle Lines variant that has that full art, essentially that virgin work. So not only is it a great cover, but our Venom 7 is also the first cameo appearance of Dylan Brock. You know, I'll say the Brock family and the Brock lineage. He becomes significant. 50 for that Venom number 7, graded at 9.8. Cecil asks, is the Star Wars slab the Blue Galactus? Oh, the Secret Wars one. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't believe so. It doesn't note it in the grading of it. Good question. I know what you're talking about there, Cecil. No, I think it's just the standard edition or the corrected from Air. Good question. Yeah. Hellions number 5 another full art timeless cover by Alex Ross with Phoenix. $60 for that Hellions number 5 grade, also graded at 9.8. We got the 9.8s lined up looking nice there. Web of Venom, Cult of Carnage, number 1 for $75, also at 9.8. A very kind of movie poster looking variant cover done by Gabriel Del Auto. This is from 2019. The Del Auto, awesome looking Venom variant there. 75 for that, graded at 9.8. All right, always got a nice landing spot for two that we've shown that I think are just spectacular here. Tales of Suspense number 52 for $400 is graded at 2.5 with cream to off-white pages. There's definitely, we'll say, some issue with the covers, but that's accounted for, and we'll say very competitively priced, as this is the first appearance of Black Widow in a book by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. There's Black Widow on the cover as she's introduced to the Marvel Universe by way of a Tales of Suspense number 52 from 1964 for $400. Your collection of MCU Avengers can start here. And then graded at 9.6, we have TMNT Last Ronin number 1 for $125. Eastman and Laird with an awesome, I do like that. As much as I was talking about how much larger it is, you can see how much larger it is relative to like the Tales of Suspense. It can eclipse it for sure. $125 for that Last Ronin number 1 from IDW. It's beautiful. And Ricardo with the Claim Last Ronin, and you know what? There's a bonus. We've been talking action figures enough. I know I made you choose last week. No reason to choose. We'll throw in the our Ninja Turtle, our classic Ninja Turtle action figure too. You'll get our last week you got Leonardo and now you got Donatello. So we'll put him along with the Last Ronin number 1 in there for you as well, Ricardo. Congratulations there. I feel like I got time for I got spot for one more. I feel like there's one more void here. You guys been to Ricardo, and with in which the X-Men, we'll say the new X-Men begins. It goes from reprints to its own book here in X-Men number 94 for $400. It's graded at 4.5. Len Wein, Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum, all responsible for reestablishing and kind of giving it rebirth to the all-new, all-different X-Men in number 94. This is one of those key books in the X-Men universe forever, from 1975, with, I suppose it's the second appearance of like Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus, Thunderbird, Banshee, as they'd all debuted in Giant Size X-Men number 1, and then transitions into X-Men proper here in 1975 with X-Men number 94 graded at 4.5 for $400. Awesome books, awesome stuff I got to share with you tonight. And I thank all of you for joining us. In fact, I'll thank you one more way. If you've hung out with me for another like 10 minutes or so, I've got 2 of them, so give me a Claim Pug. Yeah, Claim Pug, and I'll get you hooked up with Peacemaker Tries Hard number 1. And that's the pug that Peacemaker is introduced to in this is named Peacemaker because he's an idiot. So he's like, well, it's a very mature book. We'll put it that way. Ricardo and Jeremy Parker Ryan, you're both getting the Peacemaker Tries Hard book as well. And I had not missed it, but Cecil with the Claim X-Men. Cecil, it's a great one. You may not have a graded copy, but this will be the envy of Comic Trade Night for sure. Cecil. Ricardo said, is that graded Venom we talked about going? Is it going to the Springs Comic Con? Yep, it'll probably be there. Yeah, we'll have We have a Venom Lethal Protector graded at 9.6. That should be there too. And props going to Cecil as well. That's awesome, Cecil, says Jeremy. Yeah, it's tremendous. That's really, really cool. So we are, I know, so sun is set, sun's getting real low. It's setting here. But we will be dark next week. That's the way I should put it. We're dark next week because we will be at Colorado Springs Comic Con. Join us at Colorado Springs Comic Con at the World Arena. It's on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday it goes till 9 p.m. So we're going to be there till late, and then Saturday's a full day, Sunday's a little bridge. But yeah, it's going to be cool. Join us then. But we will be back in 2 weeks. It'll be right before Labor Day, I believe. Our next comic trade night is on Labor Day, that Monday evening. But join us in 2 weeks, same bat time, same bat channel. We love you guys.